Your mind is the foundation of everything. It is the place where every victory begins and every defeat is born. If you allow your mind to wander without guidance, it will carry you into places you never wanted to go. But if you take hold of it, if you discipline it, then it becomes the most powerful tool you could ever have. The truth is, everything starts as a thought. A thought becomes a plan becomes an action becomes a habit. Over time, those habits define your character, and your character decides your destiny. It all goes back to the mind. That is why you must treat your mind as the richest soil on earth. Whatever seed you plant there will grow. If you plant weeds, doubts, fears, excuses, negativity, don't be surprised when you reap frustration and failure. But if you plant discipline, belief, persistence, gratitude, and vision, then you will reap a harvest of strength and success. Too many people take better care of their phones than they do their minds. They clean their screens, they update their apps, but they don't bother to update their thinking. They allow old, limiting beliefs to stay installed. They keep listening to the same broken stories about why life isn't fair, why opportunity is gone, or why they can't achieve more. And here's the reality. If you repeat a lie to yourself long enough, it becomes your truth. If you tell yourself, I can't, I'm not smart enough, I'm not lucky enough, then your mind will accept it and find ways to prove you right. On the other hand, if you train your mind to look for solutions, to believe in growth, to focus on what can be done rather than what can't, then you will always find a way forward. Guarding the mind is not just about avoiding the bad, it is also about feeding it the good. Think about your body. You can't live on junk food and expect to stay healthy. In the same way, you can't feed your mind with gossip, complaints, and meaningless distractions and expect to live with strength and clarity. Your mind craves quality fuel. Books that inspire you, ideas that challenge you, mentors that guide you, environments that stretch you. This is the kind of nutrition that builds a sharp, disciplined mind. A single good idea, deeply understood and applied, can change the entire direction of your life. But you only get those ideas if you are willing to feed your mind something better than the daily noise most people consume. Another key to mastering the mind is awareness. Most people never stop to think about what they are thinking. Their thoughts are running wild all day, and they have no idea that those very thoughts are pulling them in directions they don't want to go. Begin noticing the patterns of your mind. Do you wake up thinking about possibilities, or do you wake up worrying? Do you imagine solutions, or do you replay problems? Awareness gives you the power to change. The moment you recognize a thought that doesn't serve you, you can replace it with one that does. That replacement is like changing the compass of your life. Little by little, you move toward a new destination. Now, controlling the mind doesn't mean ignoring reality. It doesn't mean pretending challenges don't exist. It means facing those challenges with the right mindset. Two people can look at the same problem, and one will see defeat while the other sees an opportunity to grow. What's the difference? The condition of the mind. The one who has trained his thinking sees a way through, while the one who has neglected his thinking sees no way out. That's why two people with the same resources, the same time, the same world around them, can live completely different lives. The difference is not outside, it is inside. It's also important to understand that mastering the mind is not a one-time event, it is a daily practice. You don't brush your teeth once and say, I'm done for life. You do it every day. The same with the mind. Every morning, you must decide how you will think. Every night, you must reflect on what you thought and how it shaped your actions. Little disciplines practiced daily become mental strength. And the stronger your mind becomes, the easier it is to keep it under control. What was once difficult becomes automatic. What once required effort becomes natural. The mind is like a wild horse. At first, it resists discipline. It wants to run where it pleases, chasing every distraction and reacting to every trigger. But if you keep training it, if you keep guiding it, eventually it learns to obey. And when it obeys, you can ride it to wherever you choose. That's the power of mental discipline. With it, you decide where your life goes. Without it, you are just being dragged around by your circumstances, your impulses, and the influence of others. Your future depends on whether you win this battle for the mind. Success is not so much about luck or timing. It is about preparation. If your mind is prepared, you can handle opportunities when they come. If your mind is disciplined, you can stay calm when others panic. If your mind is strong, you can keep moving forward even when the path is hard. But if you neglect your mind, even the best opportunities will slip through your fingers, and the smallest problems will feel overwhelming. So treat your mind as your most valuable possession. Feed it with excellence. Guard it against negativity. Train it with discipline. And above all, use it with purpose. Because when you master your mind, you master your life. Your mood is the silent driver of your day. It decides how you show up to the world, how you treat people, how you handle challenges, and how much progress you make. The trouble is, most people let their mood be controlled by things outside of them. They wake up feeling fine, but if the weather turns bad, if someone cuts them off in traffic, if a coworker says something unpleasant, suddenly their whole mood collapses. And when the mood collapses, productivity collapses, focus collapses, discipline collapses. The day is lost, not because life was unbearable, but because the person handed over their emotional steering wheel to someone else. The first lesson is simple. You can't afford to let your mood be an accident. It has to be a decision. Every morning, before the world gets its chance to dictate how you feel, you must decide what emotional state you will live in. Will you be calm, positive, and determined? Or will you be anxious, irritated, and reactive? The choice is yours, even if it doesn't feel like it. You may not control the wind, but you can control the sail. You may not control what happens, but you can control how you respond. And response is everything. Mood is like a thermostat, not a thermometer. A thermometer just reacts to the temperature around it. It has no choice. If it gets cold, the thermometer drops. If it gets hot, the thermometer rises. Most people live their lives as thermometers, always reacting to whatever happens around them. But the thermostat is different. It sets the temperature. It influences the environment, instead of being influenced by it. That is what it means to take control of your mood. When you set it, when you choose it, you don't allow every little thing around you to change it. Instead, you hold steady, and by doing so, you influence the atmosphere around you. The ability to master your mood is one of the greatest strengths you can ever develop. Think of the people you admire most. Do they fall apart the moment something goes wrong? Do they lose their temper at every inconvenience? Or do they stay calm, composed, and steady? Strength is not just about muscles or intelligence. It's about stability. People respect and follow those who can remain grounded under pressure. If you can maintain a good mood when the situation is tough, you become the anchor for others who are shaking. And in life, the one who can hold steady is the one who gets trusted with leadership, opportunity, and influence. It's important to understand that mood is contagious. Walk into a room full of negative, complaining people, and soon you'll feel heavy yourself. But walk into a room full of energized, positive people, and suddenly you feel lighter and more motivated. This is why you must be intentional about the mood you carry. Whether you realize it or not, you are influencing the people around you, family, friends, co-workers, even strangers. A single bad mood can poison an entire environment. A single good mood can lift others who are struggling. If your mood is contagious, the question is, what are people catching from you? Now, controlling your mood doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect or denying how you feel. It means learning how to manage emotions so they don't manage you. Anger may rise, but you can pause and decide not to let it control your words. Fear may show up, but you can choose to move forward despite it. Frustration may knock on your door, but you can decide not to invite it in. Emotional mastery doesn't come from suppressing feelings. It comes from directing them. You acknowledge what you feel, but you don't surrender to it. You train yourself to act according to your values, not your moods. One of the simplest ways to improve your mood is through small, deliberate actions. A deep breath when tension builds. A short walk when frustration rises. Listening to uplifting music instead of drowning in negativity. Gratitude spoken out loud instead of focusing only on complaints. These are not small tricks, they are tools to reset the emotional state. Too often people think they must wait for circumstances to improve before they can feel better. But the truth is, you can shift your state right now with small, intentional choices. The world doesn't have to change before you can smile. The challenge doesn't have to disappear before you can feel strong. Your mood also ties directly to discipline. A poor mood often leads to poor decisions. If you feel lazy, you skip the gym. If you feel discouraged, you put off the work. If you feel irritated, you lash out and damage relationships. This is why successful people don't wait until they feel like it to do what needs to be done. They have learned that action creates mood, not the other way around. You can change how you feel by what you do. Move your body, and your mind will follow. Take action, and your emotions will rise to meet the level of your behavior. If you only work when you're in the mood, you'll never achieve much. But if you control your mood, you'll always find the strength to work. There will always be days when things don't go your way. That's life. But those days don't have to control you. A small setback doesn't have to turn into a ruined day. A bad 5 minutes doesn't have to turn into a bad 24 hours. The discipline is to stop letting temporary moments dictate permanent moods. Refuse to give your entire day to a minor inconvenience. Refuse to give your energy to things that don't matter. Decide that no matter what happens around you, you will stay steady inside. The person who controls their mood wins twice. First, they live with greater peace. because they are not constantly at the mercy of outside events. Second, they progress faster, because their emotions no longer derail their actions. And over time, those who master their mood build lives that are not just successful, but joyful. They don't just survive the ups and downs, they thrive through them. And that is the real victory. Money is a tool, nothing more and nothing less. In the hands of someone careless, it slips away without leaving much behind. In the hands of someone wise, it builds freedom, security, and opportunity. Too often people let money control them, when in reality it was designed to serve them. The problem is not money itself. It has no personality, no agenda, but the way we handle it. If you do not master money, money will master you. And the one who becomes mastered by money is always enslaved by worry, by debt, by endless chasing and never catching. The first truth about money is this: it reveals your habits. A person who wastes a little will waste a lot. A person who respects a little will respect much more when it arrives. That is why saving and discipline are not about the amount, they are about the principle. Someone might say, "I'll save when I earn more." But the reality is, if you can't save when you have little, you won't save when you have much. The habit is the foundation. Even a single dollar saved is evidence of discipline, while 100 wasted is evidence of neglect. It's not the number that matters first, it's the character behind the number. Money is also a mirror. It shows how much control you really have over yourself. If every time you feel a desire, you spend, then your money is proof of your lack of discipline. If every time you earn, you immediately let it vanish, then your money reveals your impatience. But if you can delay gratification, if you can prioritize tomorrow as much as today, then money becomes a measure of your maturity. The person who has mastered themselves has also mastered their money. Another mistake people make is thinking of money as an enemy. They hear phrases like, "Money is the root of all evil," and they begin to see it as something dirty or corrupting. The truth is, money only makes you more of what you already are. If you are generous, money will allow you to be more generous. If you are selfish, money will reveal that selfishness even more. If you are wise, money becomes a tool for building. If you are foolish, money becomes a weapon for destruction. It doesn't change you. It amplifies you. That is why the focus must be on becoming a better person, because once money flows into your hands, it will reflect who you are. Now, to master money, you must first learn to respect it. That means understanding that every dollar is a little soldier, and each one has a job. If you send them off without a plan, they'll get lost. But if you direct them, some to savings, some to investment, some to generosity, they will work for you. Over time, your little army grows stronger, and eventually, your money begins to make money. That is when financial freedom begins. Not when you chase money desperately, but when your money starts working on your behalf. Too many people live only for consumption. They buy to impress, they buy to escape boredom, they buy to fill emotional gaps. But nothing destroys wealth faster than uncontrolled consumption. Every time you spend to satisfy a temporary mood, you weaken your long-term strength. Real control comes from asking before every purchase, "Is this helping my future, or just feeding my impulse?" That simple question can change the entire trajectory of your finances. And let's be clear, money without purpose is dangerous. If all you want is more money without a reason behind it, you'll waste it just as quickly as you earn it. The goal is not to chase money, but to use money wisely once it arrives. Maybe your purpose is freedom, so you invest in building assets that pay you back. Maybe your purpose is family, so you save to provide stability and opportunities for them. Maybe your purpose is contribution, so you build wealth in order to give generously. Without purpose, money becomes a trap. With purpose, it becomes a tool for building the life you want. The path to mastering money is built on 3 simple disciplines: earn it honestly, save it consistently, and invest it wisely. Earning honestly builds confidence and self-respect. Saving consistently builds security and resilience. Investing wisely builds freedom and growth. It's not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about laying bricks, one by one, until you have built a strong financial house. The one who respects the small amounts will eventually be trusted with larger ones. And remember, debt is the enemy of freedom. Every dollar you owe is a chain around your future. There are times when borrowing may be strategic, but for most people, debt is not a tool, it is a trap. It robs you of peace, it steals your options, and it keeps you working for yesterday instead of building for tomorrow. Break free as quickly as possible. The joy of being debt-free is greater than the temporary pleasure of most things you buy on credit. Money, like time, is always flowing. You either direct it, or it directs you. The small leak in your finances is just as dangerous as the storm. Every unplanned expense, every ignored budget, every unnecessary purchase. These are the leaks that sink ships. But when you watch carefully, when you give every dollar a job, when you make money serve your vision, suddenly you are no longer the servant. You become the master. In the end, money is not life itself. It is simply a resource to make life better. It can buy you choices. It can buy you time. It can buy you opportunities. But it cannot buy you discipline. It cannot buy you peace of mind. And it cannot buy you wisdom. Those you must develop within. And once you have them, money will serve you well. Without them, money will slip through your hands like sand. So take control now. Respect what you have, no matter how small. Save with discipline. Spend with purpose. Invest with wisdom. Let your money become your servant, not your master. And when that happens, you will not only control your finances, you will control a part of your future that so many leave to chance. Most people live their lives on autopilot. They wake up, they follow the same routine. They think the same thoughts, they feel the same emotions, and they repeat yesterday all over again. Day after day, the pattern continues until weeks, months, and years have passed. And then one day, they look back and wonder why nothing has changed, why their dreams never came alive, why their life feels like a circle instead of a journey. The answer is simple. They allowed life to control them instead of taking control of life. Living on autopilot feels safe. It requires no effort, no awareness, no decisions. You just go through the motions. But what feels safe is often the most dangerous. Because while you're drifting, time is passing. While you're asleep at the wheel, opportunities are slipping by. While you're waiting for life to change, life is quietly disappearing. The comfort of autopilot is the trap that keeps people from growing. You were not designed to live like a machine. You were given imagination, creativity, and choice. These gifts separate you from everything else in nature. A bird cannot choose to be anything other than a bird. A tree cannot choose to move to another place. But you can decide who you want to become, what you want to achieve, how you want to live. And yet many throw away this gift by surrendering it to habits and routines they never even questioned. The danger of autopilot is that it hides itself well. You may feel busy, you may feel active, but business is not the same as progress. Just because you're moving doesn't mean you're moving forward. A hamster runs fast on a wheel, but it doesn't go anywhere. Many people are living like that, lots of motion, no direction. True living means being intentional, not just active. To break free from autopilot, you must first wake up to awareness. Start noticing your patterns. Ask yourself, why do I think the way I think? Why do I do the things I do? Why am I chasing the things I'm chasing? When you stop and question your own behavior, you put yourself back in control. Otherwise, you'll keep living someone else's script. Society has a script. Culture has a script. Family has a script. And unless you wake up, you'll follow them blindly, never realizing you had the power to write your own. Living intentionally requires effort. It means setting goals instead of drifting. It means planning your day instead of letting the day plan you. It means making conscious choices about where your energy and time go. And yes, it is harder than autopilot, but it is also more rewarding. Autopilot leads to regret. Intentional living leads to growth. Every great life begins with small decisions. The decision to read a book instead of scrolling endlessly. The decision to exercise instead of staying idle. The decision to save instead of waste. The decision to work instead of procrastinate. These are small, but over time, they compound into a life of strength and freedom. But you can only make these decisions if you are awake and aware. On autopilot, you'll always choose the easiest path, the path of least resistance. And that path never leads to greatness. Another trap of autopilot is emotional drift. You don't just repeat actions, you repeat moods. If yesterday you allowed anger to control you, today you will likely do the same. If yesterday you chose discouragement, today you'll wear it again. People become addicted to their own moods. They don't even realize that they are living the same emotional patterns over and over. Breaking free means deciding how you will feel instead of waiting to see how you feel. It means choosing gratitude over complaint, hope over despair, calm over irritation. Living with awareness also means guarding against distraction. Autopilot thrives on distraction because it keeps you from thinking deeply. The endless stream of entertainment, social media, and noise fills your time so that you never pause to reflect. But reflection is where clarity comes from. You must create moments of silence where you step back and ask, am I living the life I want? Or am I just repeating the life I fell into? Without reflection, you will keep repeating. With reflection, you can redirect. The future belongs to those who live intentionally. The person who is awake, who is aware, who decides where their time, energy, and focus will go. This is the person who creates change, who achieves growth, who experiences fulfillment. The one on autopilot, no matter how busy, no matter how fast, is only delaying the realization of wasted potential. Life is too short to live asleep. Every day you have is a gift, and each gift comes with responsibility. You cannot afford to treat days like they don't matter because they add up. 10 years of intentional living will transform you. 10 years of autopilot will leave you exactly where you started, maybe worse. So take control today. Don't just wake up with purpose. Don't just work with vision. Don't just live with intention. Write your own script instead of following one handed to you. Take back the wheel of your life from the hands of habit and circumstance. Autopilot may feel easy, but it costs you everything. Awareness may feel hard, but it gives you everything. You were meant for more than drifting. You were meant to create, to decide, to build, to grow. That requires waking up every day and choosing deliberately how you will live. Because once you break free from autopilot, life is no longer something that happens to you. It becomes something you create. And that is the difference between merely surviving and truly living. Every big success is made up of small decisions. Every great achievement is built on little choices repeated over and over until they create momentum. Yet most people overlook the power of the small. They wait for a dramatic opportunity, a life-changing event, or some breakthrough moment to turn everything around. They underestimate the fact that the life they are living today is nothing more than the sum of small decisions made yesterday. If you want to know where your future is going, look at the choices you are making daily. Tiny steps in one direction over time become giant leaps. Tiny steps in the wrong direction over time lead to regret. The truth is, habits are nothing more than small choices multiplied by time. Eating one unhealthy meal won't ruin your health, but repeat it often enough and your body will carry the evidence. Skipping one day of work won't destroy your career, but repeat that laziness often enough and your opportunities will vanish. On the other side, reading one page of a book won't make you wise, but reading daily for years will transform your mind. Saving a small amount of money won't make you rich, but doing it consistently will build wealth. It's not the one big decision that changes life, it's the small choices you make every single day. The challenge is that small choices don't feel powerful in the moment. They feel insignificant, almost invisible. Nobody cheers when you resist the dessert. Nobody applauds when you put a few dollars aside. Nobody notices when you choose to study for 30 minutes. Because the results aren't instant, many people quit. They want the big result now, without realizing that the big result is hidden in those small, unseen acts of discipline. Success is quiet at first. It grows underground like a seed before it ever breaks through the surface. By the time the world sees the fruit, the roots have been growing for years. Every day is a chance to vote for the kind of person you want to become. When you choose discipline over ease, you cast a vote for strength. When you choose learning over distraction, you cast a vote for wisdom. When you choose saving over wasting, you cast a vote for freedom. One vote won't win the election, but thousands of votes over time will. And the person you become is nothing more than the total of those votes, those small choices, accumulated and compounded. Another reason small choices matter is because they create momentum. Momentum doesn't begin with a leap, it begins with a single step. A runner doesn't start a marathon at full speed. He starts with the first step, then another, until he finds his rhythm. The same is true in life. If you wait for the perfect moment to make a giant leap, you may wait forever. But if you start with a single action today, no matter how small, you create momentum. That momentum grows, and before you know it, you are far beyond where you started. Consider also the compounding effect of small actions. Compounding is not just for money, it applies to every area of life. Read 10 pages a day, and in a year you've finished more than a dozen books. Do 10 push-ups a day, and in a year you've done thousands, building strength quietly. Save a little money each week, and over years it becomes a fund that buys you freedom. Small efforts repeated with consistency become unstoppable. But the opposite is also true. Small neglects repeated with consistency become destructive. Missing one workout doesn't matter. Missing every workout matters a lot. Ignoring one responsibility doesn't matter. Ignoring them consistently destroys trust and opportunity. The danger is that neglect feels easy. Nobody feels the consequences today. Skip the work, eat the junk, waste the money. It all feels harmless in the moment. But life collects payment with interest. Neglect your body for years, and suddenly you face health problems. Neglect your finances, and suddenly you're buried in debt. Neglect your relationships, and suddenly they collapse. Choices seem small, but they always add up. That is why awareness is so important. Every small choice you make is either pulling you closer to your goals or pushing you farther away. There is no neutral. You are either building or you are eroding. You are either sowing seeds for the harvest you want or sowing weeds that will choke it out. The future is not built in some distant tomorrow. It is built in today's decisions. The encouraging truth is that you don't have to change your entire life overnight. You only need to change your daily direction. Small choices are manageable. You don't need to climb the mountain in one day. You only need to take the next step. Focus on the small, and the big will take care of itself. The power is in your routine, in the little disciplines you practice when no one is watching. That is where transformation begins. So never underestimate the power of small choices. They are not small at all. They are seeds. Some will grow into habits, some into opportunities, some into victories. And just like a farmer, you cannot expect to reap tomorrow what you did not sow today. Plant wisely, choose carefully, repeat consistently. Because one day, the little decisions you make now will show up as either the harvest you wanted or the regret you feared. The future is not decided in a single moment. It is decided in the hundreds of little moments each day where you choose discipline or neglect, growth or comfort, focus or distraction. Small choices, repeated over time, are the architects of destiny. And the good news is, you control them. One choice at a time, one decision at a time, you are building your future. So take them seriously. Because in the end, small choices don't just create big futures, they create your future. Victory always begins on the inside. Before a person wins in business, in relationships, or in life, they must first win in their own mind and heart. The outer world is simply a reflection of the inner world. If you are defeated inside, by fear, by doubt, by weakness, then no matter what opportunities come your way, you will sabotage them. But if you are strong inside, driven by belief, discipline, and vision, then even the toughest obstacles outside cannot stop you. Real success, the kind that lasts, is born in the invisible battles of the inner self. Too many people try to fix the outside first. They chase new jobs, new cities, new relationships, new opportunities, thinking that changing the outside will change the inside. But they carry the same habits, the same doubts, the same fears with them wherever they go. And soon they discover that nothing really changed. Because the truth is, your outer circumstances cannot rise higher than your inner strength. If you want a better life, you must first build a better self. The greatest wars are not fought on battlefields, they are fought in the mind. Every day, you are in a battle between belief and doubt, between courage and fear, between discipline and temptation. Every day you choose which side will win. And those choices add up. Win the small battles and you build strength for the bigger ones. Lose them repeatedly, and life begins to collapse, not because the world was against you, but because you were against yourself. Victory inside means learning to control the way you think. Your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Left undisciplined, it will replay failures, exaggerate fears, and feed you excuses. Trained with discipline, it will generate solutions, fuel your courage, and remind you of your vision. The way you speak to yourself matters more than the way others speak to you. If you constantly tell yourself you can't, the world will believe you. If you constantly tell yourself you can, eventually the world will have to adjust to your confidence. Victory inside also means mastering emotions. Everyone feels fear, anger, and discouragement, but not everyone lets those emotions rule them. The person who wins within feels the same emotions but responds differently. Instead of letting fear stop them, they act despite it. Instead of letting anger explode into destruction, they channel it into focus. Instead of letting discouragement pull them down, they use it as a signal to push harder. Emotions are real, but they are not dictators. They are signals, and you decide what to do with them. That choice is where inner victory begins. Another part of winning within is building discipline. Discipline is the muscle that allows you to act according to your values instead of your moods. Without it, you are a slave to impulse. With it, you are free to pursue your goals no matter how you feel. Discipline doesn't mean you never get tired or distracted. It means you keep moving anyway. And each time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen the inner self. Each time you break that promise, you weaken it. Victory is built one promise at a time. And let's not forget vision. A person who has no vision will be easily defeated inside. Without a clear picture of the future, every obstacle feels like the end. But when you have a vision, when you know where you're going, challenges are simply bumps on the road. The inner self grows stronger when it has a reason to fight. That is why clarity of purpose is so important. Without it, you will surrender. With it, you will endure. Victory starts within because the outside world will always test you. People will doubt you. Circumstances will resist you. Life will challenge you. If you are weak inside, these pressures will crush you. But if you are strong inside, these pressures will shape you. Diamonds are formed under pressure, but only because the substance inside them is unbreakable. The same is true for you. Build strength inside and pressure will only refine you, not destroy you. Many people ask for success but are not ready for it. They want wealth, but they do not have the discipline to manage it. They want influence, but they do not have the character to handle it. They want freedom, but they do not have the patience to build it. Life does not give you what you ask for. It gives you what you are prepared for. And preparation always begins within. When you build discipline, patience, wisdom, and strength inside, life will eventually match it with opportunities outside. It is also important to understand that victory within is not a one-time achievement. It is a daily practice. Just like a warrior sharpens his sword every day, You must sharpen your mind and heart. Every morning you wake up, the battle begins again. Fear tries to return, laziness tries to creep in, doubt tries to whisper. You must fight again, choose again, win again. Over time, these victories become easier, because the inner self becomes stronger. But the fight never disappears completely. The good news is, you don't need to win every battle at once. You only need to win the next one. You don't need to have perfect control of your mind today. You only need to control it better than yesterday. Growth is built gradually. Each small victory compounds into greater strength until one day, you realize the battles that once defeated you no longer have power. That is the reward of inner victory. When you master yourself, the outside world becomes manageable. Challenges still come, but they no longer shake you. Problems still appear, but you face them with calm and clarity. People may doubt you, but you no longer need their approval. You carry a strength that cannot be seen but can be felt. That strength is the foundation of every achievement, every relationship, every dream. Without it, nothing lasts. With it, everything becomes possible. So decide today to win the battle within. Guard your thoughts, master your emotions, strengthen your discipline, clarify your vision, build the kind of inner self that cannot be defeated, no matter what happens outside. Because when you win inside, the outside world eventually has no choice but to follow. Victory always starts within, and once you own it there, it becomes yours.